One of the hardest parts about building a truck camper is knowing what you'll be able to see out of every mirror and where your blind spots are going to be. It's basically impossible to know for sure until your camper is on your truck. Let's face it, backing up a truck camper, a trailer, an RV is not exactly easy, especially when it comes to tight parking spaces or driving in cities. And that's why I knew from the start of my camper build that one day I wanted to install a rear view camera. And I'm happy to say that today is the day, because thanks to Halo View, they sent me this rear view camera so that I could give an honest review on their product. As a full disclaimer, I'm not much of a specifications guy, so I'll list all the specifications over my shoulder here. The purpose of my review is going to be from a more practical standpoint. How is the installation? Do you need anything else that doesn't come in the box? Does it actually work well? And would I recommend this product to you? Well, keep watching, because we're going to be answering all those questions in just a moment. So we're going to start this off with a little unboxing.
You have no idea if we'll have everything. I think I opened it upside down.
That again, take two.
Take two.
Let's see what we got. Oh,
User's manual. Looks like this is gonna be the backup camera. Oh, that's a heavy duty unit right there. Pretty big, honestly. This is gonna be interesting.
Honestly, I was pretty happy with everything that came in the box. The only items I think you'll need that are not in the box are screws to mount the camera. You will need your own cable connectors just for installing the camera. All you have to do is wire in a positive and a negative wire. I'm just gonna quickly go through what I haven't used yet in the box. It's basically two ways to mount the monitor. So this, I think you mount this. What's kind of cool about this is you get it, a little bit articulating. Comes with, there's also some knobs and some screws. I'm assuming that these go on here. Other than that, there's this cable. So I guess what this pairing cable is for is to pair your monitor to your camera. Plug one into each, your camera and your monitor, and they will pair. The thing is mine paired automatically, so I actually didn't need to use this, but this might be helpful if you're using more than one camera. You can use up to 4 cameras with this monitor. Maybe it's for that. Or if you're having trouble pairing your camera to your monitor, this is how you do that. The last thing I haven't used yet, which I plan on using, is this 3M. Again, the monitor mount. I don't have the monitor here, but it's super intuitive. You basically just loosen this off. There's a little slot on the back of the monitor, so you just slide that on, tighten it, and then what's cool about this is you can stick this basically anywhere. It's just 3M on top of your dash. This is probably how I'm gonna mount the monitor. I haven't done it yet because I've just been thinking about where I wanna place it on my dash. But yeah, you basically have a full 360 and up and down. Sitting in your driver's seat like this, you can mount it here, you can mount it there, and just make sure it's facing you basically. And other than that, there's nothing else in the box that I haven't used. I found pretty much everything in the box was expected. It makes sense that they're not gonna send you your own wire connectors, just because everybody kind of does their own thing for connecting their own trailer lights and things like that. But it would have been nice to maybe have some screws or a way of mounting in the camera, just because you will have to get your own screws. Okay, so just quickly talk over the installation here. The installation was super easy. Like I said, it was basically plug and play. I don't honestly remember reading the instructions. They are there if you need them. But for me, basically what I did is I just plugged in the monitor.
This monitor is now wired. I just need to plug this in. Simple connection there, simple connection there.
Cigarette lighter outlet, I guess you could call it, but you just plug that in. And then there's a button, which is nice because you can turn the monitor on and off with that button. It's not always pulling the electricity. The camera took a little bit longer to install. The whole installation took me about 30 minutes, I would say. Once you know where you want to mount your camera, all you need to do to get the camera wired in is you need a positive and a negative. The easiest way to do this, in my opinion, is going to be through any sort of trailer lights. That's how I wired in my camera, because I have marker lights that go around my truck. I just tapped into the positive and the negative for the marker lights, and it was super easy.
Okay, so my marker lights come out here, and this is how my marker lights are wired. So I'm gonna tap into the positive and negative from the marker lights, and that should power the camera. Oh, look at that! So it says you want to have 3 bars connection. Hey! Oh, it's got audio. It has audio.
Audio too.
Yeah. This is actually really great feed. Wow. Yeah, leave it like that. Yeah, right there.
Isn't it coming off? Here.
If you don't have any trailer lights set up, you can buy your own 4-wire trailer system. Brown is positive, white is negative, and there you go, you have given power to your camera. So I guess that does go to say, if you don't already have some positive and negative wires back there, you will have to run them yourself. But yeah, like I said, it was a super easy installation. If you think about these things before you get the product, you know where you're gonna mount your monitor, you know where you're gonna put your camera, and you know how you're gonna wire your camera. It will take you probably 15 to 20 minutes, super easy. As soon as I gave power to the camera, as soon as I gave power to the monitor, they instantly connected and I started seeing right away back there. It did take me about 1 to 2 minutes to learn how to use the monitor, but again, I didn't even read the instructions really. I just started playing with it and I figured it out basically right away. It's really simple, but you can do things such as flip through the cameras because you can connect up to 4 cameras. You can also have all 4 cameras on one screen. You can adjust things like the brightness. You can flip the orientation of certain cameras so you can mount your camera upside down if you please. Things like adjust the volume. There's a lot more to it, but I'm not going to go into the depth of that in this video. As for testing the camera, I was super happy with the performance. I didn't actually know that there was going to be audio, which is really nice if somebody is backing you up. The image quality is actually really, really nice. 720p is a lot higher than you'd expect, especially when you have a 7-inch monitor. And I love the fact that you can use it as a rear view camera, so you can use it while you're driving. Since I can't use my main rear view mirror, it is nice to have the camera to see directly behind me, you know, just for instances on the highway or anything like that. And I'm sure that would be really helpful if you're driving a bigger unit like an RV or a trailer especially. Yeah, in terms of using it, the product honestly works just exactly like you would expect. There is nothing wrong with the product at all. It works as a backup camera. I like that I can kind of see people walking behind me just because it's a bit hard to tell when you're backing up a camper like mine. Hard to see everything, especially when you're alone. But as just for testing it out, I would say it passed the test and I'm pretty impressed with it. And I'm super happy that I have it installed now. Last but not least, we're gonna move into my recommendations. So first I'm just gonna talk about my setup. I think my camera location is a little bit odd. On my truck, I have it mounted on the very farthest back point. I think it just doesn't really give me a full view of everything that's going on back there. I do wish in a way that the camera angle was a little bit wider, but I think a better solution for this for me would be to mount it up high. That also goes to say that the reason I couldn't mount it up high is because I would have needed longer wires. So the wires that come with the camera are about 4 to 5 feet long. I'm sure you can find that information on their website, but you might need to get more of your own wiring if you need to run it for more than 5 feet. This is specific to the product that I'm recommending because I know for some of the RV and trailer backup cameras, they have like 30 to 40 foot long wiring. So that's just for this one specifically. But yeah, if I could mount it up high, I think that'd be a lot better just because I could see my back end and then how close I'm getting to objects instead of just being the first thing moving backwards. But my recommendation for you is wherever you mount it, it just takes time to kind of learn your camera setup. You know, there's the red, yellow, and green. Learn what that means. For me, if I hit something around the red, that means I actually have about 4 more feet to back up before I hit something. That's gonna be different for everyone, so just play with your camera angle, make sure you get it right. Think about where you're gonna mount these things before you get your product, specifically your monitor. You do have a 7-inch monitor, which means the whole unit is probably 8 inches by 4 or 5 inches. You know, cut out a piece of paper if you want to, but think about where this is actually gonna go on your dash and where you're gonna mount it. I did not think about this in advance, so during the installation process, I was kind of struggling to think, where do I want to mount this 3M mounting bracket and where do I want to put this monitor? Just because It's going to be there for a while and you want to think these things through. So if you can think about that before you get the product, the installation will be super easy. You want to think about these things for the camera and the monitor, but I'd say it's honestly more important for the monitor just because you don't want it to distract you when you're driving. And last but not least, my recommendation for the product. It is an awesome product. I'm super thankful for HaloView to sending me this. This is my unbiased opinion. They didn't tell me to say anything, but genuinely I just think the product is great. Like I said, you can add up to 4 cameras. If you have a big unit and you're struggling to kind of see behind you and you're in the market for a backup camera, I do think this is an awesome quality one. I haven't had any issues with it, and that leads me to conclude that I would recommend this product to you. So if you are interested in purchasing, make sure to check out the links below. They do support me by giving a small percentage of your sales, and it's no added cost to you. And even if you're not in the market for a backup camera, thanks so much for tuning in to another video. I will see you in the next one.